Hi and welcome to my channel, Sealclops Book Reviews. Today I'll be talking about Briana Michael's series, Next Level, her 3 books, Glitch, Flip and Click. Okay, so these 3 books from Briana Michaels are part of the Next Level series. You can read them as standalone, so they're all quite short. They're roughly what's considered novella length, but they're good, easy reads if you want to read some romance. Okay, so the genre for these 3 books is romance, contemporary, erotica, and a bit of BDSM. So straight away you see that and you're like, okay, this is a bit heavy, but it's not too bad, to be honest. The very last one, the 3rd book, is probably the heaviest on the BDSM aspect, as it focuses on primal play, which, if you're not sure what that is, you definitely learn when you read this book. It's very interesting. Okay, so how does the book compare with other books in this genre, and how does it match up to your expectations of that genre? Well, I see contemporary, and I think sort of everyday, run-of-the-mill, acting through everyday life. That's not the feel I got from these books. Yes, they do have those aspects, but as they're quite short and to the point, it's not right at the front of your, like right in front of your face. It's just, it's there. Like I wrote down here, they're a lot filthier than what I was expecting when I saw contemporary. It's more suited for the erotica label, which it is given as well, so that's definitely good there. Saying that, when I read erotica, I don't generally think of these books as they definitely have the sex scenes and everything in there. I think of those Avon or Mills and Boon books that you see around, and this didn't really pop into my head, but it's becoming more and more popular lately, so what do I know? The sex scenes throughout definitely are spicy, and yeah, like I said just before, the BDSM genre mainly makes an appearance for the 3rd book, in my opinion. So, first book is Glitch. It's the very first in the Next Level series, and when this was released, people went insane for it. Everyone had to read it, and so of course after a few months I joined in because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So as you can see here, we have a brief summary of the book. This is just the regular blurb you can find on the back of the book or on Goodreads even. It's just to give you a bit of an insight on what you're going to read. I find they're quite helpful. Sometimes they're better than others. But this one is a good size. Not too short. It gives you a bit of an idea, so I'll read that. So first we see from Glitch's point of view. So, I'm obsessed with a woman I've never met. Hell, I've never even seen a picture of her, unless you count the cartoon avatar she displays during our online gaming nights. To Ara, I'm a quiet gamer who keeps the chat open in case she wants to vent about her day or her loser boyfriend. She has no clue who I am, but what I look like, or that she's the star in the filthy audio recordings I create for my personal pleasure. Okay. When we finally meet face to face, I already know Ara's everything I've ever wanted in a woman. There's nothing I won't do to have her, to keep her, to satisfy her. I just hope she can handle my intensity, because I'm not going to hold back, and no one else better stand in my way. So straight away we see that, okay, he's completely obsessed, he's gone with her, she is the one. Has a bit of a dominant personality, you can see, which yeah, quite a few people we like to read about. Guilty pleasure, I guess. Okay, now from Ara. Glitch rules my thoughts and plays a recurring role in my dirtiest fantasies. When we finally meet, he's nothing like I expected. He's better. My mind short-circuits the instant he touches me, and when he says my name in his incredibly deep voice, anti-meltdown. After my last relationship, I've been shy about starting something new, but Glitch makes me want to take this leap, and there's no denying how badly I want him. There's just one itsy-bitsy problem. My carnal appetite is insatiable. Will Glitch be able to keep up, or will he shut me down once he learns what I like and how often I like it? Okay, straight away from reading that summary, you can get a bit of an idea of what sort of book this is going to be. Very heavy on the sex scenes and the spice level. We'll see how the plot goes as well. So here I wrote a quick analysis, how I thought the book was. So the plot and theme. So the plot of Glitch was very simple. Boy meets girl, insta love, some X drama, lots of sex. That's the main plot. The story revolves around two characters who are part of a gaming group. They are both attracted to each other but have never met. Throughout the book, not only do the main characters meet, but they fall in love and for all intents and purposes live happily ever after. To make the story a bit more unique, the main guy Glitch makes erotic audiobooks with his very unique and deep voice. The deep voice is probably what you hear most about this book. It's what drew people in. They're obsessed with it. So, pacing, emotion, ending, and plot holes. I felt that the book has a nice pace. It's only meant to be a short read and therefore it's fairly fast paced, but it doesn't feel too rushed to make it unenjoyable. If you took the story seriously, then you'd be able to find a few plot holes and will laugh at how absurd it is. But if you enjoy the story as a fun, spicy read, like it's intended for, you should find the fun in the pages. Next, I wrote a bit about the main characters, so Ara and Glitch, also known as Sean. So Ara's a curvy woman. She's an artist who has a thing for Glitch but hides it as she is always in a relationship. Once she finally breaks up with her latest awful boyfriend that she's seeing, she saw him for who he was. He wasn't happy with her, so he kicked her computer and broke it as he left. She's desperate to get her computer working again. So finding out that, or getting recommended to go and take her computer to Glitch's store, that's when she first meets him. She understands and accepts Glitch straight away. They both understand and accept each other. It's pretty insta lust, insta love. And she loves Glitch's voice and when he calls her Kitty. I have to admit, a few of the parts of the book when he was referring to her as Kitty and the dirty talk being thrown around, I was blushing like crazy. So yeah. So, and to Glitch. So he is obsessed with Ara even before he has ever met her, seen or really heard from her. He has an extremely low voice, often told it scares people even. He owns his own computer store and he runs a youth group out of his computer store as well. And a few of the background characters, you meet Glitch's sister, Erin, and her son, Beetle. And he likes to go to the computer store as well. So that's a pretty good background bit. And then he reads erotic audiobooks and scenes on the side at his house for the fun of it, really, to make some extra money. I think he says in the book, I have this deep voice, I might as well use it and get paid for it, really. He is obsessed and protective of Ara, will do anything for her, and is amazing at dirty talk, as you can see when you read the book. The next book out of the series is called Flip. It comes immediately after Glitch. It doesn't really say exactly the time frame, but you can tell it's quite shortly after the events of Glitch takes place. So once again, I start with the summary, and like Glitch, it is a dual point of view, so you get to read chapters from both Trey and from Erin's point of view. You can see, well, you are introduced to all of the characters in the gaming group in the first book. So you see that apart from Ara and Glitch, there's also Trey and there's also Carson. This second book is about Trey and Glitch's sister Erin. So Trey, I'm in love with my best friend's sister. Sometimes she lets me play, but she never lets me get close. Keeping my feelings locked down during our secret tryst is taking a toll on my heart, and I'm tired of waiting for the next stolen moment. I'm done playing this dirty little game. I want Erin. She's mine, and there's nothing I won't do to prove it. She's not mine for now, she's mine forever. If I have to take the reins to convince her, so be it. I'll show Erin what it's like to submit to the master of her heart. And then Erin, I'm a single mum who doesn't have time for love. Hell, I don't even have time to get my laundry done. I'm chaos in a carefully corked bottle, and I've put myself on a shelf for years, but when Trey is around, he pops my top in deliciously wicked ways. Too bad a real relationship will never work. He's going to places. He's going places, and I'm stuck in an everlasting spin cycle. When Trey comes to town for my brother's wedding, he flips my world upside down. If this doesn't work out, it'll crush more than my heart. He's not just my brother's best friend, he's someone my son looks up to. I need to keep the control, or this could all blow up in my face. But Trey keeps taking charge, and I like it. Okay, so the analysis. So the plot and the theme. So I found that the plot for Flip was very similar to that of Glitch. Boy meets girl, insta love, some drama, lots of sex. Getting a whole book to themselves are secondary characters, Erin and Trey. Trey has loved Erin for as long as he has known her. She is attracted to him but refuses to admit her feelings, as she thinks doing so she will somehow let down her son. The book follows along as they work to get their relationship a shot and bring it out of the shadows. More accurately, while Erin admits that she needs Trey and lets him into her life. So the pacing, emotion, ending, and plot holes. This is the shortest book out of the three. I would have thought the pacing would have been a bit rushed, but instead it actually felt like it dragged somehow. The inner arguments coming from Erin in real life are completely understandable and reasonable, but this is a made-up world. And it just made the book a bit hard to stick with in certain places. I love how the endings are wrapped up in neat little bows, leaving the possibility of more books in the universe, and to be honest, Erin made this book very hard to finish, while Trey was amazing in every way. This was definitely my least favourite out of the three books, mainly for the main female character, Erin. It was constantly push-pull. She was constantly pushing him away. And it got a bit tedious and it got a bit annoying, to be honest. I actually was not even sure if I wanted to read the third book after this one, but I'm glad I did. Okay, so a bit about the main characters. As you can see, I'm a bit biased. I'm not a big fan of Erin, and because of that, I couldn't quite write too much about her. So she's a single mother to a son referred to as Beetle. She's very back and forth throughout the book as she is in survival mode, and I thought it's a bit annoying. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I'm the only person with this opinion either. It's just one of those instances. She likes to be degraded during sex, but she also likes to be praised during sex. Once again, it doesn't seem to know what she likes, which is okay, but it just goes along with her personality as a whole, really. And she is unwilling to accept her own emotions. Whereas if we look at Trey, it's a bit of a spelling error there. He knows from the very beginning that he would someday marry Erin. He is smitten with her. He just knows. He agrees to hookups with her for over 2 years to stop Erin from panicking and overthinking relationships. He knows he wants more. She is unwilling to accept more, so he accepts what she will give him, pretty much. He treats Erin like a queen. He travels for hours just to be with her because he lives quite a ways away. And he's constantly traveling just to be with her, really. It's very sweet. And no matter how many times he is pushed away, he does not give up on her, and he will come back. He's determined to make her see that they're meant to be together. The third and the potential last book from Briana Michaels' Next Level series is called Click. As you saw from the very first of her books, Glitch, there are only 4 players in the gaming world. So there's Glitch and Ara, that we see and are introduced to in the first book. There's Trey, who is the main character in the second book, and then there's Carson. So of course you can put 2 and 2 together. Carson has book number 3. Okay, so the summary for this book. Carson. When Mac hired me as her boudoir photographer, I bet she never thought I'd also become her primal dom. The moment I saw her, my wild side wanted to play. She's fun to chase and even more fun to catch. but I have carefully constructed rules in place for anyone who climbs into my bed, and I'm breaking too many of them for her. That's dangerous, considering this is only a fling. Now I'm in over my head, and the more we're together, the more we click, and I find myself willing to do whatever it takes to keep her, including breaking my last rule. And then Mac, short for Michaela. Give me a big growly man and watch me swoon. Carson delivers my fantasies, one after another, and exceeds all my expectations. The only problem? His walls are always up, and I have no clue how to crack his code. Good thing I love a challenge. He'll soon learn that I don't back down from getting what I want, and what I want most is him. Let the chase begin. So straight away you can see, okay, they have some commitment issues. Well, Carson mainly has commitment issues. They get addressed very well in this book. This was actually my favourite out of the three, I have to admit. I absolutely loved Carson, which I'll go into detail in the analysis. As you can see, I wrote a lot as I really liked this book. So the plot and theme. The plot for Click is rather simple. It targets body dysmorphia and one man's journey to accept and love himself as is. Carson, the last member of the gaming group, has worked his whole life to overcome his hatred of his body image. Built like a teddy bear, or as a strong man with a dad bod, he has tried everything to shed his last few pounds off his stomach with no success. Vowing to not allow others to feel the way he does, he created his own famous boudoir photography studio called Cruise Photography. This is where he meets Mac. After breaking up with an ex who wasn't willing to think of anyone but himself, Mac gets a reminder about a photography session she had paid for months before to surprise him with. As she calls to cancel, she finds herself talked into keeping the appointment and also to take control of her desires. With this in mind, she finally finds the nerve to complete and sign up into a special website called KinkLink. This is where the BDSM really comes in this book. Much to her surprise, she instantly finds a dom who catches her eye. He seems too good to be true, and they begin talking. Before she knows it, he has sent her a contract to look over in order to begin their partnership. After spending the night overthinking her situation, Mac arrives at the studio only to come face to face with her incredibly handsome potential dom. You could probably guess that was going to happen, but it was still very sweet. It's quite well written how they do it. She recognises him, second guesses herself, so doesn't want to say anything. After the session is finished, he calls her out, and she's like, oh no, he recognised me, and it's really funny. Okay, so the pacing, emotion, ending, and plot holes. I really enjoyed this book as it not only followed along as two attractive people fell in love, but it addressed the issue of body dysmorphia. I really enjoyed how it was the male who was struggling and not the female for a change. It was very well written and showed how much of an impact these conditions can have on one's life. The Dom sub BDSM element was just an added bonus, making the book a very spicy read. I was really able to understand the character and get into their headspace as someone who has body issues myself. It was refreshing to read this in a different context than you usually see in romance books. As people who read romance books, you're probably aware the guy is completely hot, six-pack, what have you. The girl is curvy or chubby, and she's always like, oh, why did they like me? I'm not good enough. And the guy is like, no, you're beautiful, and that's how they do the body image thing. However, when they refer to them as chubby or curvy, they're still way smaller than me, for instance. The average, well, I'd like to say the average woman. Quite often I see, now I'm Australian, so they quite often use pounds. So what was it? I think one they were referring to, oh, I'm so big, I'm so chubby, I'm 140 pounds. Okay, I'm 220. Yeah, that's not really realistic for people. Unless you are quite small. And if you are and you don't try to be, that's fine. Just don't go on about being as big as a house and people won't ever be attracted to you that size because it makes the rest of us feel like shit. Anyway, rant over. I did not focus on plot holes as it was a fun read and not to be broken down too seriously, just enjoyed. I don't think it really had any notifiable anyway. It was more focused on the romance and emotions more than anything. I really enjoyed the ending. A glimpse of a year into the future was given with a happy ending. So I really like those to sort of, it wraps it all up nicely and you can see that it's not just a happy for now, but down the track they're still going strong. I know it's a book, but I still like it. Okay, a bit about the main characters. So Mac, or Michaela, she is 5'2", pear-shaped, very petite woman. She describes herself as A- cup breasts with lots of junk in the trunk. Which I quite like to see, not a perfect figure. But then again, they refer to her as 115 pounds soaking wet, and she sees herself as quite big, and I'm like, oh gosh. She works as a hospice nurse, which is quite sad, but she really likes it because she likes to be there and help people as they're passing away and being there for support, which is very lovely. She is an avid bookworm with her own bookstagram. She prefers tea to coffee. Her online handle is Precurious or Precurious. I wasn't quite sure on the how to say this correctly, so I said it both. And she sees herself as interested in primal play and other BDSM, but mainly primal play is what gets her attention. Carson, he is 6'3", muscled with a dad bod. He is a whole foot and a bit taller than her, so it's quite funny when you see that. They're constantly saying, oh, she's so small, I'm going to break her, but no. He describes himself as having a Wreck-It Ralph figure, which was good because I could actually envision that. He struggles with body dysmorphia, so he says he hits the gym, he works out, he eats all healthy, he's got muscly arms, legs, everything, he's happy with his body, he just can't seem to lose the extra few pounds around his waist and his stomach area. I understand him there. Sometimes you just can't. He's a famous boudoir photographer with his own studio, Cruise Photography. He wants to show women how beautiful they are through photos. So he actually says throughout the book that it isn't their figure that attracts him, it's something else. And he's attracted to all shapes and sizes. That doesn't matter in his opinion, which is lovely. His online handle is Wolfbite, but spelt as the computer bite, which is a bit of a hat off to his nerdy side, which is quite cute. And he loves primal play and the BDSM lifestyle. So he's actually what they called a vetted dom on the kink list website, meaning he's been at it for years, he has been qualified, he knows what he's doing, he's safe, sort of thing. And so it's quite good to say that they include that you shouldn't just jump in and do whatever. They actually have some safeguards, even if it's just a book and it's a made-up world, to show people that they should take it seriously if they're going to look into any of this sort of stuff themselves. Okay, so the recommendation. So, as rather short and quick reads containing between 200 and 250 pages, these books are good, spicy novellas for people who are in a bit of a book slump or just want something easy to devour. These books can be read as standalones or as individual character stories contained in the same universe. Each of the main characters are from the gaming group originally mentioned in the first book, Glitch. Which, yeah, it was quite good. I really like reading books where it's a different set of characters in each story, but they all intertwine in a big universe. I know it's not for everyone, but I really like those ones. Review is 3.5 stars. That says the 3 books as a whole, and unfortunately it is the second book, Flip, which brought it down a little bit. If Flip wasn't in there, I probably would have given the books about 4.5 stars, the first and the third together. So if you consider yourself a responsible adult and like to read some spicy goodness, then I would definitely recommend these books. At least start with Bleach and see what you think. First and third book were amazing, middle was a bit of a letdown, unfortunately. But all in all, amazing series. They've addressed all of the characters in the gaming group, and so what I can see, I don't think they'll be making any more, but they may still. Have to wait and see. And that is everything.